Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Giving all praises to the Holy One of Israel, the Holy Zebaoth. On this show called Israelite Awakenings, this week we have our esteemed elder, Ema Bathsheba. She's visiting with us this week, and I decided to use the opportunity for her to share the knowledge that existed, her experiences from way back in the day. I don't want to make it sound like, but it's necessary for us to fill in those blanks so the younger generation can know the foundation that they're standing on. So I'd like to welcome you to Ema Bathsheba. Ema Bathsheba, how long ago did you come into the way of life?
I came into this way of life in 1965.
Oh my goodness. I was not around. Okay. So
Yeah.
what was the energy like that attracted you to this way of life?
The fact is, I went on a boat ride with my girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw a brother who was dressed in culture,
Mm.
and he was doing it. I love Latin,
Okay.
doing this Latin dance. And I asked the Israelite sister who was dancing with him if I could cut in.
Mm.
And she said, sure. And we danced, and it was so wonderful. And afterwards, I said, brother, tell me about yourself. Why are you wearing those clothes? And what's that on your head? And what's them little things on your garment?
Mm.
And he said, well, let's go to the back of the boat. And he started to tell me
Mm-hmm.
that, he's an Israelite, I'm an Israelite, and this and that, and just laid it all out for me and asked if I would be interested in going to the temple with him that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I said, sure, why not? And I went. At the time, Rabbi Matthews was alive.
Wow.
We went there.
So the commandment keepers.
Yes.
Wow, that's way back.
Yes, way back. Yes, that was my first time. And he said to me, Shalom Yehudit. I said, oh no, I'm Millie. So he asked if I wanted to come back again, and I did. And that was the beginning of a 60-year journey.
Wow.
That once I said, I knew it. I knew that thing wasn't God, because I used to sit and look up on the wall and say, how could that be God?
The
And
idiot spirit questioned it.
yes, yes.
So you're saying there was not like you were searching, but not like outwardly.
Right, not
They were just
outwardly.
questions.
Yes.
And when you saw him, that lit a fire in you.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. He began to tell me that he worshiped the God who created heaven and earth. And I said, yes,
Yes, powerful.
that sounds like the truth here. Yes.
You said you've been in this way of life 60 years. That's what you said.
Yeah.
6 years. That's double my time. You know what I'm saying? That's beautiful. But I like to thank persons that were before me for ensuring that this continued so that I can come now into the race
Yes.
and pick up where I can.
Yes.
That's a blessing. How long did you attend Congregation Commandment Keepers?
Well, I didn't stay long. I went about a total of about 2 or 3 times. And then he took me to Brooklyn to Rabbi Levi ben Levi, who has passed since.
Okay.
But he was the rabbi at Beit Shalom.
Okay.
And they weren't where they are now on Willoughby. They were in a little storefront on Marcy Avenue. And I went there that time. Now, when we first went to the temple with the sisters up in Harlem, they were dressed completely different. They did not have on culture per se, but they had on fur and hats. And I said, oh, I like this.
Nice.
But then now we go into Rabbi Levi, and they have on culture and the head wrap and long dress. So I said, okay, I can do that, in a switch. Well, Cohen Levy began to teach me the Hebrew alphabet and the days of the week and so forth. And I found it so fascinating that I just jumped right in, to do it. And when we went that time, on one side, the building had 2 sides, 2 storefronts. On one side, there was just service going on. And when the sun would go down, everybody would move over to the other side, and they put the music on and start frying fish, chicken, whatever it was. And I realized that they had old people, young people, babies. Everybody was dancing together. I said, this
Right.
is a family
Yeah,
thing.
it's a
I
nice thing.
love it. And at the time, I had a 3-year-old myself. And so when I realized this is a family affair and it's good and it's real, I knew that I could never leave it. You know, I could never leave it. So that was my beginnings.
The name of that community was Beit Shalom. That was,
Beit Shalom.
okay, that was Beit Shalom.
Yes.
Okay. And how you said it's a family affair, but how did your family feel about it?
Well, my family,
That's the part. Like
oh boy,
you're all lit with fire.
yes.
This is what I need. And
My family thought I had joined some cult and that the brother was teaching me things against God. But I knew that what I was learning was the right thing.
Right thing.
And I had no idea how I was going to convince my family. But the more I talked to them, the more they felt that I was in a cult that was brainwashing me, you know. So after a while, I just stopped trying to convince them and just let them see, you know, no, I can't eat that.
right.
You know, no, I don't eat that. So when I would go visit my mom with my babies, I would have my pots, my plates, my dishes.
Oh my
So you
goodness.
can't eat out of my pot.
Yeah,
No, Mom,
that's a
can't eat out
tough
of it.
one. Yeah.
You know, and like they didn't like it, but they realized that I wasn't going to
Yeah.
do anything different. I was going to stick with that. No, I don't eat no pork. No, I don't want none of that fish because it's a scavenger, you know. And they realized that open the book, it's in the Bible.
The Bible.
This brother didn't make this stuff up,
Right.
you know. Oh, he's got you in a cult. It's not a cult, but they didn't believe it. So
Right. So did any of them, any of your family members come with you eventually?
eventually one or two, even my mother and my grandmother,
Oh
you know,
my.
came to Hashaba, you know, to sit and watch the service. But they were overwhelmed with the nose jewels,
Right,
you know,
right.
and they just couldn't relate to it. So
That is that cultural explosion.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. They just
Everyone
could,
was proud of everything. So tell me some more about Rabbi Matthews, because you know, he's like, I don't want to say mythical, but coming from back in the day, the standard he set,
yes.
you know, that he established. What was it like meeting him and the family there and everything?
Okay, it was wonderful meeting Rabbi Matthews, but like I said, you know, he tried to assume, I guess, that I was already a part of it.
Okay.
And no, not me, you know, I'm somebody else. But he was influential enough to make me realize that this is the real thing.
Okay.
You know, I didn't stay there long because the brother only took me there 2 or 3 times and then moved me away. But he was a dynamic speaker.
Okay.
You know, I mean, once you heard Rabbi Matthews speak, you just couldn't forget it or couldn't let it go, you know. But it was the door that opened for me my trip to the Tanakh and knowing that this is something to be studied. You know,
Right.
this is not something you do once a week. This is something you do every single
Right, it's a
day.
lifestyle.
You know, a lifestyle change, not just joining a religion, you know?
Yeah. And this was sparked, you know, we call it a burning bush moment when, you know, Moshe saw, you know, almost like attracted his attention. So they both, right, the brother dancing with his culture on is what attracted your attention.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's powerful. So
Yes.
important that he dressed the way he dressed.
That's right.
Yeah, because he could just be anybody. You
That's
get a
right.
dance and leave.
And that would have been the end of it. But because he was looking like that, what's that on your head? And what's those things hanging on your clothes? And why you look like that?
But in the 60s, that was like Black Pride and everything was going on.
That's right. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud.
Right.
So I was very happy because at the time I had on a wig and I thought I was cute. And when he started talking, I said, listen, this is not how, and I pulled the wig off to show him I had an afro
Nice,
underneath
nice.
it. Listen, I'm all natural, you know, I'm just doing this just to hang out. So he realized that I was a candidate for
Okay.
learning the truth.
So after leaving that, you from Commandment Keepers to Beit Shalom, you said?
Yes.
And then you went to Hashaba?
Yes, yes. And it was because he took me. He said, I want you to go someplace else. Well, when I got to Hashaba with Cohen Levy, That was it. And the thing is
Where was
that,
that? Which address was that?
okay, we were on Gates Avenue and
Okay.
Bushwick
Okay. That was before the other.
before Hashaba on Belmont. Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
That's foundation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. It was a small place, and it was so small that after morning service, they would take all the chairs out and bring the tables and set up for lunch.
For lunch, right.
But while that was going on, everybody was outside waiting for them to do this. Then you socialize and you meet, shalom, 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 and it was such a wonderful feeling, like you're among people who love you,
Yeah.
Couldn't let that go, not for a
Wonderful.
minute,
Nice family. And you learned a lot there. Hashaba practical stuff. You said the Hebrew classes.
Yes.
Who you said Cohen Levi was the Hebrew teacher?
Cohen Levy,
He was
yes.
the Hebrew teacher. Okay. And when did Maury Michelle come along?
Well, after we left Gates Avenue, and I was only there for about a year. Maish convinced them to go to this building that had been abandoned. But the brothers went there, and there was a lot of brothers, and they started fixing up, hammering, putting in walls, and doing the floors and painting and so forth. At first, when they did that, it was called Ha'arba Ruach,
Okay.
which was a club that we would go to on Saturday night after Shabbat and just socialize, and they would invite drummers to come in and drum and dancers to dance,
Okay.
Really African, really, really nice. And then Cohen Levy realized that would be an excellent place to worship.
Okay.
So they talked him into moving the congregation there, and that was the beginning of a whole new lifestyle. Eventually, at Hashaba, Miriam, Cohen Levy's wife, started a school.
I heard about that.
We had a co-op. We had a pool room where the brothers would
Because
socialize.
of more space.
More space, yeah. The pool room wasn't there. It was down the street around the corner. But the congregation kept growing and growing. It started off with about a dozen. Next thing you know, we had like 100 people.
Wow.
And not immediately, but over
Over a period of
time.
time.
And we had so much going for us. We would put in $10 a week, and you get 2 bags full of groceries because we had a co-op. We had a restaurant. Miriam started a restaurant down the street from that particular building, and we could go there anytime, and order food, and it was delicious, of course, because she
Right.
was an excellent cook,
Okay,
right?
nice.
We had a restaurant, we had a co-op, we had a school, we had the brother would drive and pick up the students and bring them. Some lived in the
Wow.
Bronx,
That is
some lived
something
in
else.
Queens, so we had our transportation to get there. But eventually, and when I say eventually, I'm talking about after years, because when they would have problems in the building, like some leak or some electrical problem, they would come to my house where we lived, and the first floor of the house where I lived there had been a dojo.
Okay.
So there was no furniture in it, just a nice big fan that would heat up the place when it was cold. So they would move the whole temple there,
Wow.
Oh boy, we had some wonderful days
So
though.
by you saying that, it means that by then you were like a permanent member, a
Yes,
dependable member of the community.
yes, yes,
Wow,
yes,
that's something
yes.
else.
And we lived in buildings where there were like 8 or 9 families in the building.
Okay.
So our children grew up together.
Wow, communal
So
living.
and we have 4 different buildings in different places, and they learned to speak Hebrew because they were only among themselves.
Right.
The brothers, the sisters, the children, everybody spoke Hebrew. I had a daughter that didn't speak English well until she was about 7.
Wow.
And at that time she could speak Hebrew and Spanish
Okay.
and English.
Wow.
Wonderful. We loved it. We just loved it. We never ever thought it was going to break up, and go awry. But that was it. Those were the days when we loved one another. We loved being with one another. We went shopping together. We went like the sisters would hang out together, and we would have the floor with mattresses, and everybody's baby was with them, with breastfeeding, you know. And I mean, even to the point where one sister didn't have any milk, she brought her baby, here, breastfeed my baby,
Wow.
you know, to me. And I was already breastfeeding a baby. So this was baby number
Two.
2.
Wow.
It's like,
That shows you like communal love, like you're talking about creating your own space for entertainment.
yes,
For you to Akari Shabbat, just go and start partying together.
yes,
That's a whole major difference, and that's something that we see in the generation now. They feel they have to go somewhere to get
yes,
the atmosphere and not
yes.
realize that they are the atmosphere.
They are the atmosphere, absolutely. And
That is wonderful.
yes, hanging out with one another, you begin to appreciate people,
Yes.
the parts of them that you don't see when they're just sitting in the congregation
Right,
on Shabbat,
right.
you know.
But then when you learn that part, it makes you know come back and appreciate them on Shabbat.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It
And
was
that you
marvelous.
trust each other and all that kind of stuff.
Yes,
That's
marvelous.
wonderful. So in Laywi-Yisrael, there were stages. One of the stages, I interested. I want to actually do an actual interview with some of the drummers, like the drumming stage.
Yeah.
When the drummers were already there.
No, we brought drummers with us,
Okay.
you know. The young men started off, you know, not so hot, but eventually they got in rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
They got good.
Nice.
Yeah. When we first went there, the drummers were of other places,
Okay.
and they came with the sisters who did the dance and so forth.
Okay, they were dancers still.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, not continuously, just for that show, you
Right,
know, or
right.
the next show, whenever. But eventually the brothers acquired drums, and they just began to practice until they got real good.
Okay, because I heard when Shade was playing a tape one time and they were transitioning to another beat, I did not hear like it was seamless. You know, it's like wow, because the drummers today they drum okay as well, but it's just different, the different side of drum. That switch they did was very good. I've seen pictures of them with their similar uniforms
Yes.
on, and the main thing they practice.
Yes.
You know, not knocking the young drummers. They know they don't want to hear it, but they don't practice enough together.
It takes that, because these brothers, because they were together all the time,
Right.
you know,
They like
and
each other's company.
yes, yes, they began to, and they called themselves Hashaba drummers, you know. Then we had a group of sisters that used to sing. They were called the Quolo.
The Quolo, I heard about them.
Yeah.
Okay. What were some of their names?
There was Giveret Ora,
Okay.
Giveret Kakma, Giveret Besima.
Okay.
And sometimes we would be invited as a congregation to different places, and they would be sponsored, you know. They were the singers, and they would perform, you know. Beautiful voices.
Wow.
Beautiful, and they blended very well. Initially, I was in that group because it was 4 of us. But then one of the sisters told me, well, you throw us off. I said, okay, Akoti, I'll step back, you know. This is not about me.
Right.
It's about the group, you
Right.
know. And so they continued to perform.
Nice. So when you went in the way of life and you woke up, it sounds as though you came in like fully, you know, energized and ready to do
Ready
whatever.
to do whatever, yes.
That's wonderful.
Eventually, I became part of the crew that circumcised the babies.
Wow.
Then, and it's much, much years later, I was doing the circumcision myself.
Wow. So you still do that?
Well, recently, I would say in the past 4, 5 years, I retired.
Okay.
I passed my kids down to my daughter, who is a doctor.
Okay. She's a medical doctor?
Yeah, but she's not MD. She's a physician's assistant.
Okay.
You know, when you go
Yes.
into the emergency room, that's who sees you,
Yeah,
the
that's it.
physician assistant.
Yeah.
So that's what she is. So now
Wow.
she's doing it.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing. You pass it on.
hmm
Wow. Would you think of actually having like Moel classes, like brothers, sisters that are
Oh, yes,
interested?
we thought about that.
They're
Yes.
interested for them to do that.
Yes. Well, the rabbi who was in charge at the time said that we were going to set it up as a a class, you know.
Make it an institution.
Hmm.
Because, we go to everyone else. I know we live in exile, whatever, but it's kind of funny that you got to go to someone else to get into your covenant with your creator.
That's how that's how Cohen Levy started us doing circumcision. Is that one year the baby was born on Shabbat, so that he needed to be circumcised on Shabbat. And the rabbi that we used to do our circumcisions was not willing to come in our community, because when they go in other communities, they could spend the night so that they don't have to travel. So he told us that he would do it on Sunday.
It's a day late.
Day later. So Cohen Levy said, listen, we have to do this ourselves so that we don't have to depend on them. And that's when it all started. We had a nurse who was there who said she would practice on whatever. And I think she said she used a carrot at first.
That's crazy.
And she performed the first circumcision there, and the two of us were standing around holding the baby and watching. And then the next thing I knew, we were constantly doing circumcisions, And eventually, the young Rabbi Baruch started to do it himself. I had moved away, and I was away for many years. But when I came back, I said, yeah, Rabbi, I was there when we did the first one. So I joined with him. And after a while, he said, why don't you try to do it yourself? And we had a couple who was willing to let their baby be my first guinea pig. He's here, as a matter of fact, And it was wonderful. I did him. And after that, maybe 50 to 100 or something, either I did myself or assisted the rabbi.
Wow.
And
That's the experience. That's really commendable, to bring someone into the covenant of the Most High.
That's right.
Yeah, that's really
right.
commendable.
We had one that the baby was born the week before Yom Kippur. And we had to circumcise him on Yom Kippur.
That's the law, man.
And I said, yeah, I'll do it. After not eating for 24 hours,
Yes.
did it anyway.
That's wonderful. That's really powerful information, because today, you go to a neurologist to get that done. You know what I'm saying? And it's just different.
Yes,
People are not taking that kind of initiative. This is our law. We have to do it ourselves.
That's right.
Yeah,
Even
that's
when
really
some of the men said, would you do? No, I don't. We do 8-day-old babies, not grown men.
Please.
You have to go to the doctor.
Yeah, you got to go to urologist at that time. Yeah. Because back home in Guyana, I took a lot of brothers to get them. I've seen it done so many times. I know I can do it. I know today they have different instruments that they use to make it easier.
Yeah.
Especially, and I won't try to do it in an adult, because too many tissues and all that stuff
that develop afterwards. Yes.
But I heard about the 8-day, how it's just the perfect time, as the Most High said.
Yes.
So it should be done. Yeah, but that's very, very, very commendable, and I would love for you to somehow, along with your daughter that's doing it now, try to see if brothers are interested, sisters are interested to get that done.
Absolutely.
Yeah. With the baby at 8 days old, do y'all do any anesthesia?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
So the baby is able, they don't like cry out or anything?
They cry sometimes, some more than others, some not at all. Every baby seems to be different. But it's not a thing that lasts a long time, because circumcision, 10 minutes, you're finished, the baby's wrapped, and it's over,
My son, Metsuyanya, my firstborn, when I did his, we went to the doctor, a private doctor, and he put him to sleep.
Oh, really?
He put him to sleep like the morning, and that boy did not wake up probably till the next morning or something. So my Isha at the time, she was like really scared.
I know.
And another person took their son to him, and he died because of that. This is what I'm asking you about, the anesthesia. A child 8 years old, you don't know what they're allergic to.
No, you don't.
So you don't know the dosage to use.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking about it. He said, no, I would not do them without this kind of thing. So that, my son lived. But the other brother, I don't know if he's even in the way of life, because that would affect you. Like, why would the Most High allow this to happen, kind of thing,
Right.
and those kind of
Absolutely.
questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you got to look in. You got to really look into those kind of institutions, because, like, even last weekend, the Brotherhood, the IMA, Israelite Men's Association, our thing was Rise of the Young Lions, that we're transferring this to them. So let them know that they got to take up for
Yes.
the foundation for the next generation. So those kind of things we have to do. A lot of people are squeamish,
Yes, they
that
are.
responsibility of actually, but that's like even midwifery. We have to take those things into our
We
own hands
do.
to
Yes, we
actually do it.
do.
There's a transition between a Shaba going to Guyana, where I'm from.
Hmm.
You were you were there during that process
I was
of
in
the
Hashaba
LUSAF?
at the time
Okay.
when they first sent the group down there to
Mm,
check it out and make a contract to rent the land.
mhm,
Yes, I didn't go.
mhm,
My Ish went.
mhm,
His other Isha went,
mhm,
but I was aware,
mhm.
what was going on there, because initially when Cohen presented the idea of us moving, he said, we're going to leave the United States. Well, we had so many people that wanted to go that we had Group A, Group B, and Group C. Okay, so some of Group A sent some of their things, washing machines, beds.
Mm.
And then Guyana, what was the name of that?
Yeah,
The
that was
brother who's,
Burnham.
no, no.
No, okay.
I'm talking about
Jim Jones.
Jim Jones.
Oh,
Well, a lot of people backed down
oh.
as a result
I
of
heard it was
that.
rough.
Hey,
I heard it was rough because when Mikhail said people used to call him Jim Jones, like Jim Jones, because American, you understand? The
right.
teacher is still some of the remains of.
Yes, yes, indeed. Uh, it made a lot of people rethink
Mhm.
their trip and just bow out and decide not to go. And then something happened with, the ship that was supposed to be shipping the goods.
Okay.
All kind of things happened. So eventually, the cruise did go, but they didn't go the way we had planned initially.
Okay. Okay.
They went and they set up. Cohen Mikael came along, and he initiated the group that was really going and went.
Mhm.
You know,
And how old was Quinn Maker at that time? In his
Mm.
20s?
No, he was older than that.
Okay.
He was older than 20. I don't remember exactly, but he was older than 20.
But he was a young man, and
He was a young man, but
the
he did,
initiative.
he did have a wife, and children.
Mhm.
And he went and established and decided that's what he was going to do. He was going to, but then he became international. He
Yes,
was traveling all
yes,
over the place.
absolutely.
Hmm.
What about the preparation for it? I heard about this fund called LUSAF. How did that work?
I remember Lusa, but I don't remember exactly
But people
how.
were basically donating money.
Yes.
Okay, over a period of time to fund the establishment of the community
Yeah,
over there.
some of the men who sent their wives
Mhm.
were working, and they would send money
Mhm.
on a regular basis.
Okay,
Some didn't send any,
okay.
because they didn't have jobs that allowed them to have a salary of.
Mm.
The brothers used to go out. One week they're selling pants,
Mhm.
and then
Right.
next week they're selling something else,
Mhm.
So they didn't have steady 9 to 5 jobs.
Right, right.
Some would go on the trains and play, the
Mhm.
drums, and the
Okay.
people would give them donations. But they were making pretty good money. You know what I'm saying? Some of them still do that today,
Okay. Wonderful. And when the persons that went, some of them returned to the United States over a period of time.
Yeah, some of them did
Okay.
return because, it was difficult.
Yes, I'm from that country, and I know. I don't remember exactly when Forbes Burnham took power, but I think what was happening, like presently, like okay, Cuba has an embargo.
Hmm.
I think the United States was doing that because you had Burnham in Guyana, you had Morris Bishop in Grenada, but these men were were siding with Fidel Castro in Cuba. So that was the whole communism thing. And America was is still against communism. So that stain, they were preventing them, and we had to basically produce our own foods and everything. And as a result, Burnham, he put it over like he banned these products, but they could not import them because of the embargo, and it was difficult. That
Yeah.
transition to self-reliance is very difficult.
Very
Not a
difficult.
regular person can deal with that. Then we had the unreliable power source. We had the mosquitoes, and
Yes. Yeah, you got to be brave.
you gotta be brave and strong to deal with that. So,
And
but
strong.
I thank all of you that did it because I'm a product of that.
Yes,
It was
indeed.
not in vain. At least I hope. It was not. I'm so thankful for the awakening that the Most High has given me. You know, it's a whole new
Amen.
world
That's
from what
right.
I was accustomed to at that time.
That's right.
When did the transition go from Ashaba to Bene at that? I'm just from oral history. I'm trying to connect those.
Well, you know,
dots.
it never really transitioned that way. Like some of the members of Hashaba went to Beit Shalom. But now, by that time, it was a different Beit Shalom. It was no longer Rabbi Levi ben Levi. You know, now it was Cohen Levy over here, and Rabbi, and I had his name on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember now. But
I heard his when Levi's teacher was Rabbi Yirmiyahu. That's
right,
okay.
right. Whose teacher was Rabbi Matthews.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rabbi Matthews produced a lot of teachers, you know.
Did you ever meet Rabbi Ford?
No, I never
Okay.
did. That
But he
was
was from Barbados.
way before my
Okay.
time.
Yeah, and a musical director. I think he was in the UNIA and all that kind of stuff.
No, I never met
Yeah.
him.
Okay. Wonderful. Where was okay? So I'm trying to connect the dots with what came first. Was Cohen Levy part of B'nai Dat and then formed Hashaba? Or was he
Yes.
part of Beit Shalom and then Hashaba?
No, he was part of Bnei Adat. Rabbi Yeshurun.
Yeshua.
Yeshurun,
Okay.
yes. Rabbi Israel, who was over Beit Shalom Bnei Adat at the time, produced Cohen Levy and some other well, they didn't call themselves rabbi when they left, but they were rabbis when they were there, you know. Cohen Levy came out of Beit Shalom and he started Hashaba, but he never, you know, allowed them to call him rabbi. He was Kohen.
Right. Coming from the Tanakh.
From the Tanakh,
Able to get
yeah.
the Tanakh.
I think that's the confusion today. Is some of the brothers are rabbis, some of the brothers are Kohen, and the confusion is that they say, you know, the rabbi is the Jewish way. It's confusion.
Okay.
But Most High said we're going to work it all out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I have faith, and I believe the Most High said it, so it's going to be done. We're going to work it all out.
Okay. But you know, it takes, like, for me, it takes our striving. It's not going to happen magically.
Right.
You know, we got to really, you know, we just got to, like, back in you speaking about Shaba, where you spent time together, you trusted each other, you loved each other, partied together, and you were comfortable enough to deal with those differences.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to take time.
Yeah.
So I know you visited the land of Israel.
Yes.
How was that experience?
That was fabulous because the whole time I was in law, I was telling the Most High that I wanted my feet to touch that land, you know. And there was a brother here who had a daughter that moved to Israel, and she was getting married, and he was going to her wedding. And my girlfriend said, "You want to?" Yes, I want to go to the wedding. So we went to Israel to go to her wedding. It was mainly those people as opposed to our people, if you get my drift.
Yes.
She married one of the Israelis. But I was happy just to be there, you know, and to see the land. That was fantastic. And you look up and you say, Beersheba, you know.
Yeah. That's my favorite city.
Oh, my goodness. I was so happy just to be there. And I stayed about a week. And then 2 years later, somebody was running a trip, and I wanted to go so that I could visit our people in Dimona.
Right.
That was a
I
fantastic
think Maisha was on
experience.
that trip with you.
Oh boy, they had the 50th anniversary,
Mm,
and the people came from everywhere, all lands, Africa, Europe, you know. And when they marched, to see the men march around like maybe a quarter to a half a mile,
mm,
you know, all the way around.
mm.
That was so fabulous. I loved
Nice.
it, you know,
Wonderful.
loved it.
So being in this way of life, one of the great contributions that you're a Mohel, and also you did a lot of educating, like the language and everything.
Well, I'm a beginner teacher,
Okay.
Hebrew, you know,
Yeah,
like
but
I'm not fluent like
okay.
some people are, you know.
Mm,
But yes, a lot of the young men, you know, they came. Coin Mikael, I
mm.
was his first teacher.
Wow.
He came to my house
Mm,
and he was, you know, with my ish talking, and he was
mm.
saying, I can't wait till I can read Hebrew. I said, you want to read Hebrew? Sit down. I'll teach you
Okay.
how to read Hebrew in
Mm.
5 minutes. So I gave it a Lamed Mem Dalit, something La Ma Da, La Sam, you know. I said, see, you're reading Hebrew.
Wow, wonderful.
It's so wonderful to see somebody catch it, you know,
Yeah,
and
so
be able
quickly.
to do it. I love it. Love it. So for a long time, I was able to help a lot of people
Hmm.
get into the Hebrew, start to learn,
Okay.
teach them basic statements, good morning, good afternoon, how are you, you know, nothing new under the sun, all kind of stuff, you
Okay.
know, Baruch Hashem,
Yes.
the whole bit. And I still do as much as I can. And I'm studying myself, trying to learn to read without vowels,
Okay.
you know.
Hmm. You said the children, like your daughter, she was 7 when she really started English per se. What was it that the community did to make the children fluent?
Well, the basic thing was that we spoke Hebrew to them
Okay.
and they spoke Hebrew to one another.
Okay.
Now, all the children weren't like that because
Mhm.
all of them didn't have parents
Okay,
who
they
were
put it in
that,
home.
yeah.
Dedicated.
But
Okay.
that's what we did. Just Bokwet Tov, you know,
Yeah.
say Bokwet Tov, good morning, you know. And they would pick that up and nobody said good morning anymore. It was
Right,
always
right.
Bokwet
So
Tov.
you used that.
So that was it. Use the language and learn to speak it.
As an elder with your experience coming into with life, everything, what, like, where do you see the nation now? Like, if someone was to say, assess the nation, what would you say?
I would first say, Todah Yehovah, that the word has gotten out so far and so wide. You know, lots and lots and lots of people know that they are Israelites, whether they're actually trying to live the life and
Sure.
follow the Lord or not. They know who they are,
Yeah.
at least, you know. I feel bad that we're not as close as we need to be in order to build a nation because
Okay.
everybody's
So far.
trying to get get by in their own life, you know, working, taking care, taking care of different things, trying to raise their children. And now our children aren't together in a school. They're all out there, you know, and you're trying to keep all of the ignorance away from them, but you can't because when they go to school and it's Xmas time, you know, they got to listen to all them songs. And then it's Easter, you know, so it's very difficult. I see the nation right now. I don't see how we're going to make it, but I know that we will because the Most High said so.
Okay.
You know, we're so different. This one does it this way, that one does it that way, this one does it this way. You know, not that we have to all do law exactly the same way, but at least we can respect one another's.
Okay. Okay.
Very difficult. That's how I see it. Very difficult, but it's going to come together.
Absolutely. What has been your like greatest Israelite experience? Like like one moment you remember that this was really powerful to you. I know you have a lot, but
I'm getting, ooh, one, oh man. I think my greatest experience was that first circumcision, getting that done, you know. That to me was a biggie, you know.
nice.
Yes. When I did it myself, you
Yes.
know.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the big one.
That confidence is boosted.
Yes, indeed.
Wonderful.
I had another great experience when I delivered my own child by myself, you know. Cut the cord, clean him up, you know. Yes, I felt that was a big moment, you know.
That is powerful. That's powerful stuff.
And then I did it again. Oh boy.
What is your message to the young daughters?
My message to the young daughters is I know that they see how the fashion establishers are taking them. Don't fall for it. Because they say do it on the right foot, you don't have to do it on the right foot. Do it on the left foot. You don't have to have all that false hair hanging down to your knees to be who you are. You don't have to have 2-inch eyelashes to be beautiful.
Right.
You know, you're beautiful. Learn to establish your own styles. Don't keep following what those, and I have a good name for them that I won't use now. Or establishing for you to, I mean, they went from being clothed to now just about naked.
Yeah.
You know, the bust is out, the legs are out, the split is up to their thigh, the dress is so short. I just don't understand how our young people, a lot of these people are in law,
I know.
can just give up all the teachings that they had to keep up with the culture. You know, and I say the culture, I'm talking about the culture of not only America, but the public. It's terrible. Terrible. Try so hard to stay out of it, away from it. Make your own style. Be modest. Ask yourself, would my teachers be happy to see me dressed like this? And I'm speaking about my own children, grandchildren, you know? It's terrible how it just takes over their minds. I have to look like this in order to be beautiful. No, you don't.
I mean, back in the day, and you know, y'all had the styles as an Israelite. You know, how were y'all able to weather that storm?
Well, some of us didn't.
Okay.
Those that were determined no matter what, we did it. Now, when I met this brother and asked him about who he was and so forth, I was working in an office where I went to work every day, you know, in high heels and, you know, not tight knit dresses, but, you know. Then he said to me one day, I want you barefoot and pregnant. And I thought that was so romantic.
Women today be extremely offended.
I was so. I said, okay. Next thing you know, I wasn't barefoot, but I wasn't wearing them high heels anymore.
Okay.
And I was definitely pregnant. Oh, boy.
That's something else.
Oh, boy.
My final question to you is, what do you want to be remembered by? Like, the legacy.
I want to be remembered as the sister who tried very hard to make Israel do what was right. Take off all of them foreign clothes, put on their own culture, start their own thing, whatever it is, you know, not rely on the society to take care of them, to establish your own. I want to be remembered as the sister that always tried to feed everybody.
Okay. You're known for that. Okay.
Yes, and give you sweets for just giving it to you, you know, letting you enjoy the Shabbat day with sweets, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Toda Ema Bathsheba visiting, just came into town, and as a Judite willing to stand up and share her information, her history with us. I appreciate it tremendously.
Toda
You
Rabah.
know, coming in the way of life the way I did, coming from the country that, you know, your community went into, and now looking back into get information so that younger ones, even older ones, can look back and say, I was not there physically, but this is the foundation that I'm standing on, that I want to establish and uphold. Okay, so Toda Rabah, I pray that the Most High blesses you and your family.
Amen.
Continue to extend your life and continue to give you the opportunity to share your information with us.
Told me.
Toda Rabah.
Ain't the Father.
Hallelujah.
My pleasure. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Sila.